Welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick will make you stupid with curriculum left. Take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We know pretty quick will make you stupid with curriculum. Get a job while you get fast. You can buy some cans of food. Overseas and not for freedom. There's some oil we can use. Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose. But our algorithms say you do what we want you to do. Society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. You'll get married to a lady who also don't have a clue. And got one of you babies that are just the same as you. The system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Heroes are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Heroes are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, baby girl. I'll let you think if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play. We divided all the men by trying politics and race, and honestly, it's working awesome. So for you, we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself and judge you full of hate. Objectify your sexuality, then blame it for the rape. And recognize the differences that make up men and women great. And just to screw with you, erase the gender. Everyone's the same. We'll empower you and constable and fight for equal pay. And have the men turn into women and go fight for them again. But you thought you had it figured out, but everything has changed. Welcome to the system. Please enjoy your stay. Survival of the violence. She was bruised. We made find a man who can take care of you to fill the host you made. Buy a house to settle down, fulfill your duty, procreate, and make a couple babies who will also do the same. To the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Humans are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Humans are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, everybody. I'ma make you black and white. I'ma make you hate each other so that everyone will fight. I'ma give you all religion, let the righteous find the light. But I will also give you science to oppose the word of Christ. And I will give you borders that are attached in every line. If you cross them, go to war and win when everybody dies. And I will give you money that you'll value more than life. And let the 1% have everything while you fight to survive. And then I'll give you politics, I'll call it living life. And while you divide yourselves, I will conquer both sides. Can't you see? I'm the system, my whole purpose is divide. What you choose will never matter because everything is mine. Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Humans are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Humans are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Humans are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Humans are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Humans are the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Sorry. I figured out what it was. It was a weird echo, but not an echo. Howdy, y'all. I want to say hi to Belle V before she goes because I know she's probably going to start her live pretty soon. Thank you for coming over and showing the love, darling. I hope you have an awesome live, and it's nice to see you. Thank you for coming here and showing us some love with your fingers. Okay, so where am I? Let me not remove myself. Put on my cam. Stop the screen. Oh, whoops. There. Hi. Howdy, y'all. How are we doing tonight? I'm here. Yes, Belle. I will definitely after my live if you're still going. I don't know. Sometimes when I get off, you're not there. So, oh, thank you. So anyways, I want to begin at the beginning to say, hey, and then we'll go into why I decided on this, which
My mutual Rick buddies will know exactly why I named this is shaking the jar. Um, but Miska won the booby prize. She said she was going out to dinner. I don't know. I didn't see her back in here yet, but um, she won the booby prize tonight. And Anne was next because I seen her talking to her when I was fluttering around YouTube trying to figure out what I was going to play first. So howdy, Miss Anne. And Justine. Howdy, darling. Hopefully you're here. I know yours a completely different time schedule, so it's hard. Or firm, anyway. Blunt was next, and he said he's never going to win the booby prize. I told him we'd give him one. He can imagine the other. He said it's okay. He'll work with the one. He can work with that shit. He's used to not having none, I bet. So one will do. And flat-chested female, she was offering up hers, but she said she don't know what the hospital did with them. And Kai, how are you, darling? And Sherry, she gonna have a drink with us tonight, even though she might have some meds on board. I'm in full coat sweat. What's wrong? Okay, unfortunately. You won't make the live? I just pulled up outside work. Hope y'all have a great time. Oh, I see. I did. I found it. I was trying to find one in a jar, and like the whole concept of shaking up the jar, and like, I mean, nobody's done that. Jeez, come on. So that came from Sugar Britches, which I see I'm getting off track. I think she was next though. Howdy, ma'am. How are ya? And who else do we got? Oz is looking. Oh, and Bellevue was the last one that I noticed before I started my little scan thing. Oh, hi, Wendy. Thanks for coming, or at least smiling a lot. And Damon, and Lady Nuke, and Joe. How are you, sweetheart? And did I miss anybody else? I guess I just scrolled right up to the top. Okay, so now I'm on board with everybody. To Loco. Howdy, how are ya? See, I'm careful. And Kaylin. Oh, thank you, Damon. Nothing was going right, to tell you the truth. But speaking of me, like somebody, Damon was lying to me and told me I look great, which I love. Thank you. But so everybody knows, I said all my hays. So the first thing I want to say, and then we'll get off on the right topic. Blunt, just try to suffer through here. I'm selling makeup now. So if anybody needs makeup or anything, let me know. I will let you know as I go. I'm waiting for my order. But I'm not a huge makeup wearer. I actually wear more makeup when I do the live, because if I don't, I look completely washed out. If I turn on this light, first of all, it fogs up everything. But if I turn on this light, watch this shit. First of all, it blinds the shit out of me. But second of all, I don't like it. Hi, Arby. I do remember your name, Wendy. You you could never be forgotten, I'm telling you, honey. You're just, and not just your voice, your personality. You're a pretty cool woman. I could sit and visit with you, guaranteed. I'm part of the MLM. What's that? What's that, Blunt? No, I'm not selling Avon. Nope, it's called Celesti. So, and basically, I'm gonna dox myself here. Maybe I shouldn't, just because I seem to have a few haters I notice along the way. Not that any of you seem to be any of my haters, but yeah. So, if somebody does want to know about the makeup, you can always email me at yankandgutter@gmail.com. And that's yank, N, not and, but N, gutter.com. And I forgot to put I'm sorry. I gotta turn that. Just a minute. It's coming back. It just takes the camera a minute. It probably is kind of like this pyramid scheme. I don't care about any of that. That's not why I'm not doing it to make any money. So nobody has to buy because no. I am doing it because you can join for $1 and then you get 50% off. And the makeup is chemical free. And so that's kind of, I just soon stay away from, I mean, I don't wear tons, but I do wear the basics every day. And so I don't think, yep, I totally get it, Sherry. Thank you. I'm not going to dox myself. So I know you, the guys that know me, know my real name and all that. And anybody that wants to, I should have thought about that when I did this. But I mean, like I said, I'm just doing it to get my makeup for 50% off. And it seems to be chemical free and the price is not bad. Oh, and there's 100% money back guarantee within 30 days on the makeup. Now they do have a skincare collection, and I noticed that I think on a lot of the skincare collection it might not be money back guarantee, and I'm not sure yet. I'll have to figure all that shit out, but pretty cool. Blunt man, you don't wear tons like we didn't see you on Halloween. Hey, that was different. Oh, because I took it all off, right? I look like shit, didn't I? I never even thought about that. Sorry, you got to see the real me. Y'all seen the prices on peanut oil? I just saw that crop from $60 at Walmart. Oh, that crap from no fried turkey this year. Fuck Joe Biden. I know. Fucking don't just piss you off, Tilko. I'm so sick of it. All the bullshit. Fucking people just putting up with it. When the fuck are we going to say enough is enough? I mean, it's not like we couldn't handle it. Not encouraging anything. I won't take it back. That's why I'm becoming a travel advisor. Free travel. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to have free travel, but took my RV today to get it, the ABS looked at because we couldn't seem to figure it out. So, and Marvin's an airplane mechanic and a mechanic. I mean, he works on our rigs all the time. So it was a little frustrating, but it's a diesel and there's just a lot more to it. So, yeah. Yeah, well, the thing about it is, Wendy, the discount for sellers is actually a discount. No, the postage isn't, because you order online and I believe they, Australia is a place that they do ship to, and I don't think their shipping was bad. I could definitely check it out and let you know, Wendy. So if for some reason you are interested, my email, like I said, yankingetter@gmail.com. But what else was I talking about? Guess you know where I've been. Hi, fly crew. I know. They do. They got us all fucking running scared. Don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. You don't wear makeup anymore? Like I said, I don't wear tons. And the only reason I wear it on here is because it makes me look so washed out if I don't. I mean, I almost can't have no light on. So it's, you know. And I actually have to put on quite a bit to make it even look like I'm not just completely washed out. I mean, I have tons of fucking blush on, and it don't look like it. I have tons of eye makeup on, but you wouldn't know it. Okay, so for anybody that didn't see what our buddy Ricky Bob posted, we're going to talk about it. Oh, first, before I do that, let me go here and post my link. Oh shit, wrong one. Invite. Heavy. And see, I have to wait for there. Open. Okay. I know. Silence. Yank used to hate that. If I can silence, stop that. Wonder if Yank here. There's 20 people here. Maybe he's here. Don't call Rick our buddy. That Democrat, he said he didn't care what we called him. Methinks otherwise. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, boy. Hi, Rowdy. I mean, nobody. Just so you know, I'm here, lurking in the shadows, watching you, Gigi. Thank you. Hi, Alexis P. Okay, so, okay, we're pinned. Now I stop staring at myself in two different fucking spots and go to what Ricky Bob said. Oh, fuck, where'd it go? There it is. Back at you, Alexis. Beautiful. Never thought you'd say that. Okay, beautiful gutter. That's funny. Okay, here we go. Let me present this, or I'm never gonna get it done. See, I'm really bad about it. That's why we never get shit really accomplished here, because come on, bitch. Oh, come on, ya. Mm-mm.
If you collect
Oh no,
100
shut
black
up.
ants
Shut up.
and 100 fire,
Shut up. I'll tell you when to talk. All right. Okay, I didn't miss anybody. Okay, before I start this. Okay. So there it is. Now I can start it. Okay, I'm just reading first, real quick. Nobody ever said. Okay, here we go. This is about who's shaking the jar.
if you collect 100 black ants and 100 fire ants and put them in a jar, nothing will happen. But if you take the jar, shake it violently, and leave it on the table, the ants will start killing each other. Red believes the black is the enemy, while black believes the red is the enemy, when the real enemy is the person who shook the jar. The same is true in society. Men versus women, black versus white, faith versus science, young versus old, etc. Before we fight each other, we must ask ourselves, who shook the jar? I'm Mark Twain, also known as Samuel Clemens.
So, the Jews did it. Oh, you're so funny, RB. So, that's our discussion tonight is regarding that. But I want somebody to come on. If you guys don't come on, this will be like the fucking shortest live ever.
We now turn to
So-
Senator Kennedy.
No, we don't. Shut the hell up. And I can close that. Okay. So, no Bobby. Harvey, you could come up. Fly crew. Who else? Who else is there? Panel up. That's right. Chop, chop. I need more coffee and Bailey's. So, come on. Or you're going to sit here and listen to, I don't know, the fucking sirens when they go by while getting my coffee. Wendy! Okay, where are we? How are you?
Hello, everybody. Wild
How are
Australian
you?
in the house.
Yes, yes. Wendy comes to us from Harley's channel. And where else? Where else did I see you at?
Maybe Southern Zone Wendy. Inky.
Where
Kaylee.
was it? Nope, I can't remember.
Traveling Fools.
That must have been
Traveling
where it was.
Fools.
I think that's where it was. Yep. But is Harley where you found everybody at, or where did you find everybody at?
Yeah. He was my first ever live stream.
He broke
My
your
first,
cherry.
second, and third, I think.
So Well, right on. I'm so glad you
So-
came on.
Well, you're saying like somebody come up, otherwise it'll be the shortest stream ever. And I'm like, righty,
Well, I'm glad you did. I've been trying to get these guys to come up because they always have good information when I start talking about stuff like this. And so Arby's like Mr. Brain, you know, all these guys are Flag Crew. They all have a clue as to all of this.
I can be the black and caramel representation.
There you go. There you go. Here comes Arby.
Hey.
Hey, Arby. Good.
Yeah, I was just not at my computer. I was turning my computer on. I was on my phone. Just
I
wasn't
see.
fast enough. I'm sorry.
Well, it's about time, and most
Is
of the
it a
time women
potato?
don't want you to be too fast.
I was playing with Baxter, okay? He needs attention too.
That's his dog. Let's just clarify.
Yeah. We were
Yeah,
having a
when
lot
he's
of fun playing ball. It was great. I threw it and he chased it and then brought it back. Then I threw it again. You know. He had fun. I had fun. It was great.
It was a good time.
Exactly.
Fly Crew said, "Damn,
I've got to watch
Aussies, are
this.
they even real?"
I know I've got to watch this stream about, whether Australia's real or not. Everyone keeps saying there's like Australia's not real and birds aren't real. I'm thinking, well, I haven't even watched this feed about that. I did find one today, so I've tagged it for watch later.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So
We're just a big ass floating island.
yeah,
Full of like
Yeah, and-
weird creatures that don't exist anywhere else in the world.
the weirdest creatures that exist. There,
I just think he's real jealous because we're from the future and we're like ahead in the times.
I see. So the future of the world is giant spiders and like, weird venomous like mammals
things
and
that'll
whatnot.
fucking kill you. I think that people have hyped up Australia to make them think like it's some big scary place. I mean, I am sure that there's things. It's like Idaho. You know, and certain
Oh,
times
no,
of
no,
year,
most
you
of the
gotta be
animals
careful
can
where
kill you.
walk. Right.
Most of the things do want to kill you. Or don't want to kill you, but they can kill you.
Right.
I can show you photos on my phone. So I live in a little tiny country town of 18 houses, and just in my house yard. So country towns have got bigger house yards than normal city house yards, but not anything fantastic, just still a house yard. And I've already had just this year already 2 blue belly black snakes in my yard. I can show you a photo of one where it was outside my glass door and it just wasn't going to go away. So I had to make it go away. Call on those Aboriginal black pals. It's like, all right, it's either you or me, snake. I won, obviously. Sorry for the snake lovers, but, I got dogs and cats here.
Yeah. Yeah. We had rattlesnakes, lots of rattlesnakes in Idaho, and that was, and some years were worse than others. Oh my gosh. You wanted to be careful.
Oh,
where
I'm
you
not
step.
snake. Like, I'm terrified of them. Yeah, I'm scared of them.
Yeah, I'm not much of a snake lover or a spider lover. Spiders are the ones that bug the shit out of me because there's so much more in abundance and they can get in your house and they, fucking.
Didn't they make a
piss
song
me
about
off.
that?
What's that?
Didn't they make a song about that? I don't like spiders and snakes. I don't know if that's an
that
Australian
ain't what
shit
it
song or not.
takes to love.
To love me. Oh, that's a bit better.
So yeah, I was just looking at chat here.
I mean, look, I stand by what I said in chat. I vote Steve every week. I want to interrogate him about about his liver. That's what I want.
What?
I want to interrogate Steve about his liver.
Oh my gosh. You guys are not going to forget about Steve, are you? He's pissed at me. He won't even come back.
I don't know what happened after I left because I got off, but I enjoyed
That's
seeing
like
you.
my mate used to say. My liver is. My mate used to say, "My liver is evil. I must destroy it." Oh, dog,
Hey, look, I
lay
don't
down.
judge people. If they
Seriously.
want to destroy their liver with alcohol, that's their choice. I don't give a shit. I just be honest about things.
Friggin' dogs, mate. The most time they ever make noise is when I'm on a cotton picking live.
Oh, well,
Oh,
of
I'll show you a
course.
mugshot. Get up here.
Mine just kind of barks when he hears things outside, sees things outside, but not stuff inside. He whines when he gets attention.
Are you ready, babes? Say, my name's Rufus. Hello, everyone. Up there, no more backpacks. The big
So
clown.
you live in a town with 18 houses? Is that what you said, Wendy?
Yeah, 18 houses, 6 streets. And there's even some of those houses are empty because no one wants to live out here.
It makes me think of where I grew up. I grew up in a place in Idaho and super small. And you could spit from one end of the town to the other. So, it was really small.
Easy,
No
yeah.
school. No,
Oh, we got a
yeah.
school. We got a primary school, I think, and it's like a really big, or what do you? I don't know what you call a primary school over there. Where it's just grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's a really well set up, modern looking school, but the population's just thinning out more and more. I think the student count. I think there's like about 9 kids that go to the school.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Do you have a channel?
I do. I've only got one video on it so far of me my old dad's car museum, which is closed at the moment. But yeah, I do want to try and start doing more. But there's really not too many topics out here. I mean, there's 18 houses.
Well, and it's almost like you just have to search the internet looking for stuff that you can do shows on because, I mean, I wanted to do more shows on hiking and that sort of stuff. And then my grandson came along, so I spent a lot of time at home and not as much hiking as I normally would. So, this whole YouTube thing, it just kind of, mine evolved out of nowhere. It was kind of, not out of nowhere, but from another channel that we kept talking gutter talk, and he had nicknamed me Gutter Girl, and then actually a little Australian woman started the channel, and it was a different channel called Gutter Talks, and then she backed out, so I did it with a guy who's a bald-headed biker named Yank, and then he left, so now it's called Gutters Pub, and it's me and whoever will come on here and hang out with us. So yeah,
Have a drinky poo. I'm on the vodka and coke today.
I'm drinking Baileys and coffee. I'm not a huge drinker, but
No, me either. I normally buy a big bottle of vodka, which is a 1 litre bottle, and that'll keep me going for 4 or 5 days, like 4 or 5 streaming sessions.
oh yeah, I drink once in a great while on the streams. Well, I used to drink more on the streams, but usually I'm just kind of sipping, and it's usually Bailey's or Amaretto that I'll drink with decaf coffee. So that's about as strong as I get, because I get way too mouthy, and yeah, people wouldn't fucking like me if I drink it, so.
I don't get mouthy. I just start talking even more than I normally talk.
Oh yeah, I get really, really saucy and sometimes shitty, and yeah, it's just never good. It's never.
Nah. I normally
So
log out when I start
it's
getting the
never
shits with
worth it for
something.
me.
But yeah, I wish I I mean, there's things I do around the place sometimes. I could kind of just do some random short or something. Like there was a few months ago where I because kangaroos are a big problem out here, and they kind of like jump in front of your cars. You'd think the kangaroo would hop out of a big piece of moving metal that's coming towards them, but no, the kangaroos like playing chicken with the big hunk of metal that's moving. And because cars are like a lot of plastic on the front of them, that sort of stuff these days, just really made a mess of the front of my frigging car. So I done this awesome repair job. I've got some before and after photos on my phone that I sent to a mate of mine, but I wish I had a videoed the whole job because I wound up getting the solder and iron out. So where there was a break, I just stuck solder and iron holes, melt holes through it. And then I did cob and K twitching. That's kind of an old style way of joining, like log cabin wood together and stuff. So I was doing cob and K twitching and brought them all nice and together beautifully and had like little check plates on the back of them to keep it all straight. And when you see the job that I done, the before and after shot, it's really, I like to say it's really good for a girl because, males like kind of think that they're the only ones that can do that shit. Maybe not so much now, but.
Yeah.
I was just pulling my radiator, pulling out an old radiator out of my old ute or truck, as you call them, and putting in a brand new radiator, which is really easy stuff for me. I don't sort of think that anyone would be interested in it. And then I see all this stuff on YouTube, and it's like, wow, I could have videoed that.
Yeah, there's
So when you
something for
say-
everyone on the internet.
When you say ute and you say we call them trucks, I thought your utes were more like an El Camino here, or
No, so we call them a ute, UTE, which is just short for utility truck.
Oh, I see.
We just call them a ute.
I see.
Sergeant Tom, yay!
My gosh. Hi, Sarge. Wow. Wow.
You're a party animal, Sarge. I'm telling you, you are just an absolute party animal.
Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? If we can only be so lucky to just keep going that strong, way, you know what I mean?
Our life's not over yet. Life's still going.
That's right. That's awesome. Yeah. So, Arby, what do you think about what I was talking about? I guess I should maybe I should play the George Carlin thing that I have real quick so that I can kind of give you some of what I was thinking about.
Okay.
Is this the jar of ants thing?
Yeah, basically, that whole
Yeah,
thing of, why are
have
people arguing and fighting and, all of that. But George Carlin kind of goes into, who controls America. And basically it's pretty much anybody, any country, I think. So I'll just let it play so that y'all have a clue.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks. And it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media news, all the big media companies. So they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interests. That's right. You know something?
He
Yeah, I
ain't
don't
wrong.
disagree with Carl.
Ain't that
I
the
don't-
truth?
I don't disagree with
Yeah,
Carl
that's
at all.
right. And not only that, the club is also a brotherhood. It's always generally made up of men. And we were only just
That
talking about all that just the other day on on a true crime stream that I was on the other day, talking about the Chris Watts, Shanann Watts thing and that sort of stuff. And because I've kind of been interested in that as well, and I like true crime and conspiracies and stuff like that. And it was on Kaylee's channel. Kaylee gets up on Inky's channel, and she mentioned how the mistress, Chris Watts' mistress dad, and as soon as I say this word, everyone's going to go secret society, which it is. Her dad's in the Freemasons, and he's right up on the food chain of the Freemasons. And the Freemasons, man, they're the ones that control, in my opinion, they're the ones that control the world power. They're the ones that are like an absolute secret society that have been going for like 500-600 years. And I'm relatively knowledgeable on a fair bit of it, because even when I was explaining it to Kaylee, she started Googling stuff. She's like, oh, isn't that like kind of an old kind of a club? I've gone, mate, Freemasons are alive, well, and kicking. And yeah, once you started doing a bit of research on some of the stuff that I was explaining, right down to how they haze new perspectives and stuff like that, yeah, it's crazy. And then there's actually a book, like that I remember that was brought out. Well, I didn't remember what year it was brought out, but I Googled it the other day when we were talking about, the Watts case, called The Committee of 300. And it's about basically 300 world heads that control the world. And I'm pretty sure that committee of 300 are probably all in the Freemasons, because you can only get up to level 33 is the highest level achievable in Freemasons. And Freemasons also love running things around the number 3. Like I say, the highest level is 33. Funny how it's a committee of 300, and only so many people are allowed to be a top dog of that club or brotherhood. They actually call it a brotherhood, but I just call it like the spoiled boys club kind of thing. But yeah, they do hazing and all sorts of crazy shit and sacrifices and, bathing in blood and all sorts of crazy stuff they're never allowed to talk about. And there's still stuff to this day that you'll never know what they do, because it is super duper secret society.
Yep.
I don't know nothing
So
about all that, but it's the goddamn Jews. That's what. No, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, though.
Fucking Harvey.
But no, but in all
You're just
seriousness-
trying to get Bobby stirred up, aren't you? You're just trying to get him on here. That's what you're doing.
I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. No, but I don't disagree. I mean, I don't know anything about the Freemasons, but beyond
I can't believe you don't. Of all the things, you have the knowledge of
look,
everything.
I know about what goes on in Assassin's Creed with the Freemasons, the video game. So they're fighting the Templars or whatever in history to.
Hey, you know what? Here's the deal. You need to fill your head with that spot that you have that stupid fucking video game in. Let's fill your head with the real Freemasons so you come back and teach us that shit, okay?
No, but look,
That's mind blowing. Yeah, it's mind blowing. You gotta read it.
I can't speak for outside of the U.S., but we definitely know in the U.S. there's a pipeline through the Ivy Leagues to government, essentially, to positions of power, and we know that people bounce back and forth. I'm sure there is lots of connections between people that went to school together, that were in the same societies together, and fraternities and sororities and all that kind of shit. So I don't look at our government as representing us as much as representing financial interests primarily. And
yes, that's exactly right.
Directly with the way, at least in the U.S., that you go to the polls and you're picking, especially on the national stage, between a Democrat and a Republican. And the reality is there's there are primaries or whatever in there, but there are rules about getting on those ballots, and especially with some of the rules on the Democratic Party. the parties are private entities that don't have any real like requirements to follow certain rules like primary voting and things like that. So the only people who get on the ballot are the people that they ultimately choose to be on the ballot when you go vote in primary. So most of the time you're voting for a bunch of politicians for any seat that has already been pre-approved by a bunch of people that you have no connection to or control over, that are not
this book, this book, The Committee of 300, actually goes into that. And this book was actually written in 1991, 1992, and the book actually even goes into how elections have already picked their winners. We're just looking like we're going in there picking the winner. They already got the winners picked.
Yeah, I mean, I think elections are mostly you just in your own mind consenting to the outcome. It's you saying I agree to the outcome, which is part of why I've been frustrated and I'm probably, I'm seriously considering not voting in the next election because I'm in a state where it doesn't really matter that much, and I just feel completely disenfranchised. So why should I, agree to be part of something that I don't feel like I'm a part of?
So it's not compulsory in America to vote?
Nope.
Yeah, no, in Australia, it's compulsory to vote, and if you don't rock up to the voting polls, then they'll fine you. I think it's only, I don't know what the fine is now, but I know years ago it was like $50 if you didn't go and vote. So a lot of people just go, I'm paying the $50. But yeah, no, it's compulsory to vote in Australia. You must vote when you turn 18. And you vote anytime someone calls you.
I'm actually a
That
believer.
seems a little forceful, for fuck's sake. I mean, I get it, but it seems like, where does you're a fucking adult. It should be your choice, really. I mean, I think everybody should vote, but I don't know that it's the government's job to spank you for not voting.
Enforce it, yeah. Yeah. Especially when you're out here in the country, and some people have got to literally drive hours, or you can do a postal vote. But if you miss doing your postal vote in time, there's only a window to be able to do a postal vote, then you've got to drive for however many hours it is. I don't know what the fine is now if you don't vote on voting day. When I say $50, that was 20 years ago, so it's probably $250 now. Women shouldn't vote. Oh my God, who wants a fight? Black Sheep wants a fight.
Shaz says that her father and grandfather were both Freemasons, and there was absolutely no sacrificing. Bullshit.
Well, my dad was a Freemason as well, but as you get up higher up the food chain, and everyone feel free to do a bit of research on this, as you get higher up in the food chain, that's when a little bit more and different levels will have different expectations of what you've got to do and to be promoted, I guess. And not only that, you can't just go and join the Freemasons. It's a referral process. So you can't just rock up to the clubhouse one day and go, where's the application form? You've actually got to be referred by a couple of people. Or as one fella said on one of these videos we were looking at the other day, you have to be spoken of a few times. Yeah. So, because my dad was in the Freemasons as well. And, he ran, and, because they wear aprons, and the aprons have got representation of what level they're up on. And yeah, no, it gets a little bit more serious as the higher you get up in that power, that little boys club brotherhood fraternity.
I have actually heard that because I want to say that I had a friend who her grandfather was in the Freemasons, and because I had heard stories about the Freemasons, and this was when we were younger, I had questioned her, and I was really intrigued by it. What does he do? And does he come back? Does he seem like he's holding a lot of stuff in? Or, she's like, fuck no, Jesus, we're reading way too much into it. Hell no. It's not like that at all. So she actually asked him, do you do weird shit? Yeah. And he's like, no, we're not, but he didn't say that they didn't. No. He just said, we're not into none of that, at where we're at. So, but she was
The
pretty
thing is, you
young,
don't
too.
know what they're into until you get up to like level 30, 31, 32, 33, and only so many people worldwide. It's a worldwide club. And you'll find that Freemasons, or in Australia we call them Masonic Lodge, they always have high windows. They never actually have normal low house windows like we have. They can always normally spot a Freemason's building or temple because they don't have normal height windows, because they don't want nobody having an opportunity to look in to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And they do hazing. They do things that, like the next new nominee's got to be blindfolded and have a rope tied on his pinky toe and one leg of his pants rolled up and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, I was just getting into it with someone on a live stream the other day. The longest live I've ever done. We did like a 12-hour live stream just going over all this Chris Watts, Shanann Watts stuff. And yeah, when I mentioned the Freemasons to her, she's like, I'd never heard about them, rah, rah, rah. And then she started delving into people that have been whistleblowers on the Freemasons. And yeah, even Kaylee's going, wow. I'm going, yeah, man. It's like, you'll even find documents, current documents now, that'll even tell you that it's such a secret society that there's still a lot of stuff people don't know about it because it is such a secret society. Like absolute, like they're bigger than the mafia. Like mafias and that they're generally just like a family in a country. Freemasons is worldwide.
I just want to know when the aliens are coming to take the Freemasons like to their planet so that they can escape Earth from the like apocalypse or whatever that's coming. Oh, wait, that's Scientologists. My bad. I'm sorry.
Well, that's Xenu. That's Xenu. Yeah, Xenu, and you get reincarnated, that sort of stuff. I've actually been delving into the Scientology cult later on lately, because as I was saying, Wendy's the Aussie on the panel. Because I've been delving into the Scientology side of stuff as far as cult-like, not like I want to join them. Like I wouldn't want to join those friggin' clowns.
Well, I once was tripping on acid and I pulled somebody's Book of Mormon Bible thing off the shelf and sat and read it for like 4 hours. That was an interesting read, especially tripping. Yeah,
No doubt. Yeah.
Things just happen. But yeah, no, my takeaway from that was, man, he's working really damn hard to show that he's a prophet, to set up stuff in like book 1 that show up in book 3 or whatever. Self-fulfilling.
Well, it's funny, because of the Mormons, the fellow that started Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, he was actually a science fiction writer.
Yep.
His original origin come from writing science fiction. That's
the way I
So Shaz says.
Sorry.
Shaz says Grandmaster and Sword Bear, both of GMs, Grandmasters. Is that what that? Both of Grandmasters.
They're levels. Like they're levels.
Look, as long as they're Grand Wizards, I think we're good.
Grand Wizard. Whoever wears the pointy hat is the one you listen to.
Yeah. And for me, I've got to be careful if they're wearing a sheet.
But yeah, no, so there was this like beat poetry thing that I used to watch on YouTube every now and again. And there was this guy, I can't remember his first name, but his last name was DeWolf. And he did this piece that was really interesting, talking about how like living with like his grandfather's name was like this weight that his family had to get rid of. And then he's like, oh yeah, he was this failed science fiction writer who started a religion. His name was L. Ron Hubbard. And then I like looked into it. It was find it. But like I don't know what it was called or whatever.
Well, I mean, he's over in America. If you're well aware of the Danny Masterson stuff and the case and all that sort of crap, like he's into Scientology. Well, he was Scientology, I believe, has now called him a suppressive person. So they've given him the arse now. Scientology, I think, has just gone, well, you're on your own now, Danny. And I believe they've called him a suppressive person. So because none of us are in, well, I believe none of us are in Scientology, so we would all be classed as suppressive people. So if you're not with them, you're against them. They've only got the two categories. And they're all waiting for L. Ron Hubbard to come back because they believe in reincarnation and the aliens are going to, they'll all get shipped off to the bloody Xanadu planet and all this crap or Krypton. And I'm thinking, isn't Krypton in Superman? Like, far out. I'm pretty sure it's a planet Krypton. Yeah, they're going to go back to.
It's also an element off like the periodic table or whatever.
Kryptonium.
But yeah, no.
Would it be possibly a tonium? Yeah. So all sorts of crazy religions, that sort of stuff about. I've checked out a few just for interest's sake, just to see, maybe this might be for me. And then when you the more I research it, the more I just sort of go, no. I remember back in the 80s, late 80s, I checked out Pentecostal. Pentecostal do all the talking in tongues because that's like a direct link between you and God, and no one else can understand it. And the few times I went to church, I just thought, man, either I'm on drugs or you're all on drugs, but either way about it, this shit's not for me either. Jim Jones, perfect example. Yeah, here's another one doing Jonestown. That's where the expression comes from, like drinking the Kool-Aid, because he made them believe so much that they all were prepared to poison themselves and die for it.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim Jones was such a tight ass, he didn't even buy Kool-Aid, he bought Flavor Aid, the generic version of it.
That's why I won't use Gigi's makeup, because I'm concerned she might be trying to poison all of us. You never know.
Putting a little bit of arsenic in it.
Yeah. RB, I think you're safe. I mean, with all the makeup that you use, I think you're safe.
Hey, you don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know.
I don't know you. You're right. I don't.
You don't even know me.
Yes, queen. Or whatever they say.
You don't even know me.
There was also an interesting podcast that I listened to called Heaven's Gate. Not called Heaven's Gate, but it was like about the Heaven's Gate. I think that's what they titled it, but about that cult.
What the fuck, Blunt Man?
I have heard it. Just trying to.
Yeah, the podcast was done by a guy whose like family had left the cult when he was little, and he like grew up until he was young in it. But yeah, it was years ago. I don't remember too many of the details. It was interesting.
And even the Scientology side of things, I mean, they call themselves a religion, and they've been classified as a religion. I mean, they get all the tax exemption and stuff like that. But what kind of religion says, if your family's not joining us, then you are not allowed to speak to your family ever again? You will segregate yourself from that suppressive person. That's crazy, bonkers stuff, man.
It's like cult-like. I've always said for years, it's a fine line between religion and cult.
Yeah, well, I think if you're dancing around with like poisonous snakes on your arms, going and you're not like of some kind of African nation, speaking African language, then like,
no, but
and you're all like dropping a friggin'.
Even within,
grab your freaking dollar acid at the door before you come in, so you'll enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And like, ooh,
that's kind of how I felt
that's my kind of
when
religion. Can you go do that?
When I was younger, I went to the Holy Roller. We called it the Holy Roller Church, and it was the United Pentecostal, and they spoke in tongues. And so
that's right. That's what I said. Pentecostal does that.
Yeah, they're just fucking out there. And I'll never forget when I had to pee, and I got up to go pee, and the minister was standing up in front of the pulpit, and he come out and started running down the aisle just as I came out, and he took me out literally right then and there, and then just kept on running. He didn't even stop and pick me up. There was a man there that stopped and picked me up, and I proceeded on to
I'm amazed you didn't make it a friggin' forehead slap as he was going past you. Do a quick, you're healed.
Well, and then
Something that
of
can look
course,
like you're fainting from the heel.
when I came back to the seat, the friend's parents that I was with, they were like, that was it was because he was speaking in tongues, and he had the Holy Ghost in him, and da da da. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I was kind of in
Is that
shock.
the
I was
excuse?
probably only like 10, 11. So yeah, I was a
Yeah.
little freaked out.
And they speak in tongues because, like I say, I didn't dabble in it. I was researching it. I've never had a religion that I really dabbled in. Well, that's not a lie, actually. I was dabbling in a bit of white Wicca for a while because you've got the white and the dark. Yeah, that's probably the most I've ever dabbled. The rest of them have just kind of been research. And yeah, Pentecostal, when they're talking in tongues, they do that because it's meant to be a direct conversation between you and God. And that's why no one else understands all the because it's just meant to be a direct link between you and God talking. It's just like I just even like in my young late teens, and I didn't even really know what drugs were then. I just thought they were all off tap. Oh, they're just like in the holy wine or something.
If you're not hurting other people and it makes your life better, I don't see a huge issue with it. Where I see problems is where you like have these people who are like, I don't know, Jehovah's Witnesses, and their kid gets sick and they won't let their kid get medical treatment, or other religions.
Well, that Scientology does that. Scientology does that.
I'm sorry, but nowadays I wouldn't blame them. I have completely lost faith in the medical. I'm sorry, Arby. I know that just like fucking probably blows you away. Well, probably it don't, but
no,
I've lost total faith in it.
People that was at the front of the line talking about the bullshit that was going on with COVID and how it was undermining the medical system, but the medical system is a whole. We practice evidence-based medicine. I mean, you can want to express caution with like, hey, I don't want to be on a new medication that's only been out for 2 years, and that makes a lot of sense understanding how our like approval systems work. But to be like, oh, I have high blood pressure and my doctor says I should be on amlodipine, but fuck that because I don't trust doctors. Like, you're asking to have a stroke, you're asking to have a heart attack. Like, that's some tried and true stuff that I'm sorry you can't just like throw bullshit at. But yeah, I agree with you. You should be skeptical of like COVID crap and stuff like that because they proved it to be bullshit.
And what you said about
control.
Yeah. So I'm thinking you're an anti-vaxxer, Arby?
Let's put it this way. I'm not a big fan of it, other than very specific populations where their risk of side effects from the vaccine outweighs their risk of bad outcome from COVID earlier on. At this point, I think there's very, very few people where I would recommend that they get a COVID vaccine.
I agree. I'm actually agreeing with you. So I'm anti-COVID vax, but then all my children have had their baby needles and stuff like that. So I'm not anti-vaccination. You hit the nail on the head when you said they want you to take something that's only been out for 2 years and really not been fully explored, investigated, tested.
Well, look, I can give a different example that has nothing to do with COVID, where I think money is driving the medical system and people are not aware enough to realize it. And again, I think this goes on in places, and you have to be an educated consumer.
Totally agree with you.
There are organizations, there are different groups that advocate for patients. So, like, one of these is the Wegovy, Ozempic, these drugs for weight loss that are these, diabetes drugs that are being used off-brand or whatever it is, or off-label for weight loss, if you know what I'm talking about. A lot of celebrities are on it. I've seen a lot of people go on it that are just kind of upper middle class people who can afford it or can get it on their insurance.
That's because like Tom Cruise's face was on there going, "Look how it's done good for me," and everyone goes, "Oh well, if Tom's taken it," and yeah.
Here's the thing: if you look at the
I was going to get me soft drink
being approved, it actually shows that of the weight loss, about half of that is muscle. So you're not just losing fat, you're losing muscle. Now, you can negate that by doing some serious, work while you're on these medications. But they're advertising and pushing these medications, just go on them and you lose weight magically. And it curbs your appetite, but what you're actually losing is not necessarily making you healthier, depending on what your situation is. And so there's
That's right, because it could be a genetic thing.
Well, a lot of people aren't using it the way it should be used, which is, hey, it's a tool to help you change
No.
your life and lose weight easier while you're changing life, but it's not something you should be on in the long term, in my opinion. Like, I don't even think
I agree totally with what you're saying. I like the way you think, Arby.
Yeah. Oh, but
You and me have just become YG friends.
You might not be aware of this.
Hang
But,
on.
okay, whatever. But yeah, that's why I say, like,
Oh.
I understand being skeptical, but you know, maybe it's like somebody like me, it's my responsibility to be more outspoken on, you know, social media or whatever, and you know, back up my perspectives and put it out there. But there are people that are doing it, like, you know, I can give you doctors like Marty McCary from Hopkins was doing I think he's from Hopkins, was doing a good job of putting out, even from the beginning of COVID, a lot of this, you know, pushback against this misinformation that was coming out from the CDC because of the government.
So, Wendy, there's something you should know. Arby's not just like the potato right there on that.
Hey, it's a steak, okay? Rawr.
I know you keep saying it is. It looks like a fucking potato to me.
Well, you know what? It fits.
Is that meant to be a steak?
It's meant.
Is that meant to be a steak?
Yes, it's meant to be a steak.
Oh, I thought it was a potato as well.
Well,
I wasn't sure. Well, first up, I thought it was a peanut or a kidney bean. And I thought, no, it's not a kidney bean. I think it's meant to be a potato. It's not even either.
He's more than just that. He's he's my doctor.
He's more than just a hunk of meat. More than just a piece of meat.
He's a physician's assistant.
Alrighty, cool.
So he's a doctor. In my book.
Awesome.
He's better than probably most doctors. So
but yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
an undergrad degree in biochemistry, and I have like my graduate degree as a physician assistant. But I read all the studies.
Oh, awesome.
I did a minor in statistics, so I kind of know how to understand that stuff too.
Yeah.
And I want to be informed. But that's why I read all the COVID stuff and tried to follow it from sources.
Yeah. But I mean, it's going back to the weight loss thing. They got too much medication out for people to, you know, magically lose weight. Too many shakes, too many this, that, the other, where if you don't have a genetic problem, it's just a matter of really proper eating and moving your dang body. And a perfect example I can give you was a young lassie I used to work with. She wasn't like morbidly obese, but she was a stocky girl, and she was always self-conscious about her weight. We used to work at the meatworks together, so the abattoirs, or I think you probably call them over there, we just call them the meatworks. And she'd always skip breakfast. She'd always skip smoko, like what do you call it, morning tea or whatever. Always go straight out to the smoking pit, you know, instead of eating any food. She'd generally have something really unsubstantial for lunch, like a sausage roll, which wasn't a bad thing, but I really went back to not eating properly. And I started just drumming it into it because I am a skinny mini. I did have a little bit of excess weight after I had my first child, but then I got back into healthy eating because I was just eating like a frigging machine when I was pregnant. And I think I could have written a book, 1001 Ways to Make Mashed Potato. But anyway, young Angie, I started drumming it in her head that she's got to speed up the metabolism. The worst thing people do when they're trying to lose weight is not eat. And then it slows down your metabolism. And then your body actually gets used to being starved of that food. So your body will slow down its fat burning. And you want it to speed up the fat, or you want it to speed up the frigging process of digestion, which then speeds up the metabolism, which will then start working its way into fat. She got to eating, she started eating like 4 small meals a day, and she wound up being like me. I was seeing her there a few years later after the meatworks had closed down and everything. And I thought she'd been on drugs or something because she'd lost so much weight to from what I was used to eating. She's like, no, Wendels, I'm like eating like 4 times a day now. Like as soon as I wake up, I'm having 2 pieces of toast and not necessarily eating healthy all the time or like at every meal, but she ate something and she didn't eat anything over big. She only ate something small. And I think that's also part of the secret. They scare me with that avatar.
Look, this is how I feel now that you insulted. Now that you insulted my goddamn meat. Okay. Fucking,
Horns.
don't make me take
So,
it.
so did you see what Sugar just said? She said it's a bone-in steak. It's a bone-in steak. Can't you all see the little bone down at the bottom?
It did. It had
Oh, that was a little circle, bit of bone with a bit of marrow in the middle.
Yup. Don't worry. It definitely wasn't enough to make you happy. I understand.
Oh, goodness gracious me. But even to go back on what your initial start of the stream was with the ants and that sort of stuff, that's always just been about superiority, who can get the food chain, the highest, and the king of the castles, the king of the castle, and we're all the dirty rascals.
Yeah, I mean, look.
No, what is it? I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll look into it for you.
If we're too busy fighting each other, it's very easy for the people, that are in positions of power to continue to, build their own wealth and power and, minimize ours.
That's
the
it.
disparity between the upper 1% and everyone else has gotten wider and wider, over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Barbie went to the dark side.
Yes, I did.
That was just one of the comments that flashed by.
Mm-hmm. Now don't mention the Jews, or I'm gonna go off. 'Cause fuck them Jews.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
Dude, Bobby's not here.
I decided from now on, I'm just gonna, represent the real victims of the whole situation, not the Palestinian people, Hamas. I mean, look at them. All they did was try and free themselves, and now they're having to live in goddamn tunnels. It's not fair. All they wanted to do was live free. I don't get it.
It's sort of hard to know, what the media is telling us is right and wrong too.
Every Jew is drafted.
I guess if you're living over there,
we get a birth certificate in the United States. They get a draft certificate, when they get born. I mean, that's just what happens. Yeah. So, they're all combatants from the second they're born. It just is what it is.
Well, I just still don't believe we should even.
At the end of the day, shouldn't be killing people. Shouldn't be killing each other.
Yeah,
shouldn't be killing each other. There's got to be a better way than going in and shooting the fuck out of everyone just to prove who's the king of the castle.
We're all going to find out that's probably the only way things are going to get settled here.
Yep.
That's because people don't know how to share anymore. I've got a runny nose. Buddy, air conditioner's getting to me.
Oh, are you rubbing in that you're in hot weather? Really? That's not even funny. Of course, you're not in hot weather. You're
well, maybe by screaming hot. Like yesterday, I think the hottest temperature it got outside in the shade was 39.6. I took a photo of it on my phone and put it on our little Discord buddy chat thing.
What's that?
And today, and we've also, I think that equates to something like 102.8 Fahrenheit or something like that.
Yeah, that's too fucking hot. That's too fucking.
Yeah. And we've got another one of them today. Normally I don't turn my aircon on until maybe lunchtime, but I knew it was going to be another screaming hot day today, so I left the aircon going all night, just on low. And then I've had to crank it back up again now because the house walls are heating up. I've normally got all my blinds shut, otherwise the heat from the glass just makes the room even hotter.
Right.
Yeah, it gets damn hot, man.
Yeah, I live on the coast. It don't get like that here. So.
I don't have the humidity out where I live. It's more of a drier heat, so that's not too bad. So you're not really perspirating and losing all your fluids as much as what you do sort of maybe 4 or 6 hours away from me where there's high humidity and just be like sweating out of your arms and your ears and between your toes and under your boobs and folding up tissues, putting them under your boobs and under your...
I hate it when it got. I've only ever dealt with that when we went to Nashville, and it was so fucking hot. I'm pretty. They should just like follow people around and take like the sweat off their bodies and refilter that shit for. I'm telling you what, that's probably where all their water, all their fluids go, man, is directly. They don't even bother. I don't think I peed the whole time I was there. I didn't need to. I mean,
no, yeah, well, you're definitely not getting enough fluids in you if you're not urinating enough.
Oh, trust me, we were trying to, but I mean, it was so hot that you could not. We sweat our ass off. It was. And
then there's the other side of the coin that you can drink too much water and it can kill you. Fancy that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can die a water death.
one way or the other.
We're all dying.
It's gonna get you.
Yeah, I just kind of was not wanting to beat anybody very quickly to the end line, to the finish line.
It's not a race you want to win.
Right.
But yeah, not to get into the details of who's killing who or whatever, any of that bullshit. Like, it's all tragic, But but yeah. So one of the things I've been reading into is kind of and like we were talking about before about how nobody's actually represented. Is like the Israelis that I know, they'd be very happy with a 2-state solution. They're not part of this like very right-wing settler kind of driven perspective in Israel. It has some religious people that are part of it, but that's how Netanyahu has maintained power. And and then you look at like the West Bank with Abbas, who's just maintained power for the same 17 years or whatever. Gaza, Hamas has maintained power. None of these groups, none of these people represent people. They represent their own personal interests and those that keep them in power. It's no fucking different than Putin.
They're representing, they're representing a race.
Well, it's not even about them representing a race. It's about them representing themselves. I don't think any of those people that I mentioned really truly at the end of the day represent any of their constituents as a whole, as much as they use certain constituents, at least let's say in Israel, for example, to stay in power. Like, look at Putin. Putin or Xi in China. Like, they don't need elections per se to keep them in power. I mean, Putin more so than others, but he's very obviously rigs the system to maintain his control on power. He puts, his cronies in as the president, and then he serves in, another role while they're there, but really he's still in charge. This is just the way these things are done in these other countries. Now, if you're a
that's right.
Person,
you look at places even.
If you're a savvy statesperson in a democratic country, you just play the game and stay in power that way. I mean, look in the U.S. I'm sure you guys have this in Australia, but people stay in government for 40, 50, years, whatever. I guess 30, 40 years is like what we have in the U.S. and it's craziness. And, they just live basically off the government, off the public dime, and they don't really accomplish anything other than legislate. And what real qualifications or representation do they care about other than keeping themselves in power? So, that's why I see in a lot of these people, and we see it much more clearly. Sorry, I'll finish in just a second. We see it much more clearly, like with Hamas or with, the West Bank, where, these leaders are worth billions, where like people, live in less squalor and like poverty than the world imagines, because especially in the West Bank, they're called camps, but they're like cities, but still not in the best conditions, while their leadership groups who, steal aid money and whatnot to enrich themselves. And like Netanyahu is maintaining power to protect himself from, corruption charges and things like that he has against him. All right. But that's what I was going to say. Like, it just all fits with the not representing our people, or the, people that they claim they represent.
See, Australia's not even as good as what people kind of think. Like Australia's becoming like one of those places where it's a nice place to visit, but you don't want to live there kind of thing. Because like I was saying before, it's compulsory to vote. If you don't vote, you will be punished. If you keep not voting, the punishment's going to get worse and worse. If you don't pay the fine, they'll probably whack you in the slammer for 6 months or something. We've got all the race crap happening here, like America, like out of the world's population, America's got like 2% of the world's population in their jails, something like crazy numbers like that.
That's not.
Whereas in a lot of our countries, especially up Northern Territory,
not the world's population.
That's a really high, crazy number.
Our population. Our population, not the world's population. 2% of the world's population is
world population. World population.
I'll
I've seen that on when I Google stuff. I like to check on a few different sites. I don't always like to take one site's opinion. I like to sort of check a few different sites to see if a few sites have the same opinion. And in Australia, going back to racism and the black-white stuff, we got so many black fellas that are like in jail for the most menial shit, and they're going to be in there longer than what if a white person done the same crime. It all still happens. It's not too bad in a lot of the states, but one of our states in particular, up at Northern Territory, where we've still got a lot of proper black Aboriginals, not like half-caste caramel ones like me, and most of their jails are full of black fellas. And it's just shocking. And, they're going to be in there for like 3 and 4 years for having a joint, having one spliff, one Scooby, whatever you want to call it. And it's just crazy, man. And then not to mention they'll probably get the shit kicked out of them anyway before they even make it to court day. The world's just crap. One of the reasons why I come out the scrub here, out to these little remote places, is because it does me head in big time. I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the news because the news is just only bad news ever sells, and then you've got to sort of take their edited version of the story. Yeah, the world's just horrible everywhere. What can we do? But back to the religion side of things, has anyone heard of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster? He's got a good one going. Anyone heard of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster?
No.
You've got to check it out. Oh, man, honestly, you got to Google it. And it's so funny because it just started out as I think it started over in America. And it just started out as a college entry thesis kind of thing, where you got to do an essay on something. So this fella done this essay on this made up religion, and it's now becoming like a thing. There's even people in Australia that when they do the census on the country's people head count and what religion they do and their wages they earn and how many people's living in the houses, so many people are getting into FSM, or Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. They've even got headgear. They've got like 8. Well, they're not even cardinal rules. They're 8 laws of I rather you didn't. So, if you want to do this, that, and the other, I'd rather you do it this way kind of thing, but it's up to you. It's you got to read it. It's just a really funny, Pastafarians, they're the ones. Yep, Pastafarians. So, yeah, that's Pastafarian. That's part of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, and their traditional headwear is a colander or a strainer.
That's like in the U.S. I'm pretty sure Jedi is a ism or whatever is an official religion because they got enough people that they got it listed.
Yeah. I think it's like 25,000, depending on where you are, what country.
I ran the numbers, and the world population is 8.1 billion. 2% of that is 162 million. That's like a third of the U.S. population. That's not possible. So I looked up the prison population in the U.S. It's estimated to be about 2 million. If we look at the most recent census, the U.S. population is about 350 million. So that puts the U.S. prison population about 0.5% of the U.S. population. So I'm not sure what numbers.
Still crazy amount. It's still a high number.
It's a huge number.
Still a high number.
I'm not discounting that at all. I'm just there are.
So what'd you say? 0.5%. So that's like 1 in every 200 people is in jail.
No, a half percent, 0.5%.
Yeah. So 1% is 1 in 100. 0.5% is 1 in 200.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. So 1 in 200 people are in jail over there because it's 0.5%, which is 200 parts of 100%.
Yeah.
So 1 in 200.
Sure. No, but it comes from mostly certain populations. Like, we can all be honest about this. It comes from certain populations primarily, where certain crimes.
And then out of that, so seeing as you're obviously Googling, out of that percentage that are in the jails over there, what's the colour differentiation of the people in the slammer? I'd imagine that out of that 0.5% that's in jail, it's probably 70 or 85%. Yeah, it's just horrid numbers, and it's all just down up.
Let's see. As of 21, the percent of incarcerated population was 30% white, 32% black, 24% Hispanic. And again, I wouldn't contest. I would, even without looking up, that the numbers would be much more highly weighted towards black and Hispanic people. But that's two reasons. One, that's the type of people that commit crimes get caught for it, and two, the type of people that take plea bargains or things like that are easier to convict for crimes. And so that's predominantly poor people. I bet you if you looked across the board at like the financial level of people that get arrested or go to jail, it's probably highly weighted towards lower socioeconomic people, regardless of skin color.
Yeah, lower income demographic. Yeah,
but I don't buy into the narrative that police are predominantly going after black people, because if you look at the way that it breaks down, it's in certain areas that have high levels of crime. But yeah, Shaz, the per capita incarceration rate, so per 100,000 people, for white people it's 181, for Hispanic people it's 434, and for black people it's 901. But yeah, no, I don't discount any of these numbers are massively weighted in a certain direction.
And I think also another thing that I believe definitely with Australia, and I'm also believing it with America as well, with just some of the true crime stuff I watch. Police aren't getting enough training before they're put out in the street with the gun. And I'm not saying just because they're going to go out and shoot someone. My main statement is police are not getting trained well enough before they've got to go and do shit with the public. That would be my main point of the statement. Not that they're going around shooting everyone, but they're just not getting enough training. One of these videos I was watching the other night on one of these true crime live stream things, I actually spotted, and I think I might be the first person that's verbally mentioned it, on how all the coppers' vest cameras, nearly all the coppers' vest cameras from the same police station were all 6 hours out. And we proved that as well. Because when I was hopped on with the host and that sort of stuff, and I started picking the times on the the old Axon body cam friggin' footage, she's like, oh, no, it's 9:30 at night. It should be dark. I said, well, friggin', what was it? So 19, so 9:30. So what's that? Friggin' 21, 30, 100 hours. Queensland
so
shows.
9:30?
Yeah, 21, 30, 100 hours is 9:30 at night.
See, I can do that real quick.
You got you set.
And I just thought, wow, how incompetent is this particular police station that all their body cam times are out? Because there would even be a couple of times on the actual footage of that body camera displaying the time where they'd look at their phone and that phone would be actually visible on their body camera. And the phone will say, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, not 9:30 at night. And I just thought, wow, man, they've got a whole police station that's got their body cameras out by 6 hours. How can this be? And then the ones that did have their body cameras with the proper times on, seem to have, as we later on discovered, just from doing the true crime investigation, got laid off the case. It's just really weird disparages with stuff like that I
That's
kind
why
of
I
spot.
think, that's why I think when you say, geez, more training would help, I don't think training is the problem. I don't think that at all.
Oh no, because these coppers are also walking all over a crime scene. They were touching shit. They were even looking at a red dot that was on like a wall architrave, so the bit of strip at the bottom of your house wall, inside house wall, and there was a red dot.
But
One of the
that's
coppers
not
has even
about
gone up
training.
and he's touching it with his bare fingers.
But that's not about training. That's about giving a shit. And these cops don't give a shit to begin with. That's where the whole problem starts. So, I mean, if we're really going to say,
I agree with that actually.
Because common sense would tell you don't walk in the middle of a fucking crime scene. That shouldn't, no training. I didn't need no fucking training to figure that shit out. And the most common sense people do not. So I don't think training's an issue. I think it's more the people that they're hiring. And when you hire shitty people, you're going to get shitty results. That's all there is to it.
Well, I think there's definitely a big part of that. But I think,
and I don't care what color they are.
I think one of the things that we forget with police is that they do, in some places, 3 to 6 months worth of training, and then they get put on the street, and they are basically never required to do much training after that. Maybe a little bit of gun training to show that they can qualify once a year.
Shazam, correct.
And maybe they have to pass a physical every couple of years, but that's about it. And
so,
they have,
I think one of the things that, well, at least when I talk about police needing to have more funding put into training, is regular training. You need to be practicing, safe, grappling tactics to know how to use them properly when your adrenaline is high and you're in a fight. Like, you need to practice shooting on a regular basis.
But RB, before saying that, have you actually seen what a training schedule is for a police department?
Yeah, I work through my hospital that I work at, doing the physical side, the police and fire and all that kind of stuff, medical. So I've seen a lot of that kind of stuff.
I see them all the time. Like our police, I see them all the time training. There's an area where they go out and they do training, and a lot of it's done right in this huge parking lot. And when I go to pick up my grandson, I have to drive by there all the time. And I see them doing training all the time.
Are you talking about new recruits, or are you talking about people that are incumbents within the departments?
Well, that'd be new recruits.
Well, I would be under the I mean, I see the same type of people out there all the time. I mean, you can kind of pick out, it's right beside where I drive, so you can see who these people are. And there's a lot of the same people going out there on a regular basis. That's why I'm saying there is training that takes place. The guy that we follow, Rick, that was part of his job, was he trained these guys to, on how to do stuff. That they have training that goes on, just like they do with anything else. A certified nurse's aide, they have training that you continue to do. You know this. I mean, there's always training.
Dependent, though. That's the problem. It's department dependent, and it's often funding dependent for those departments. So yeah, you have some departments that have a lot of training, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and it's perfect, and they have intelligent officers that are committed to their job, that care about their doing the right thing. And then you have other departments that are not well funded or full of corrupt leadership, and they don't follow through on that kind of stuff, and they're used basically as a way to make money for themselves, not the police themselves, but their departments, and for the city, county, municipality, whatever it is. Like that's the problem. There's no uniform policing in this country. And I'm not saying that the federal government should uniform policing, but there should be standards that are required across the board.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just see, I mean, with my own eyes.
Maybe it depends on the population.
Every day, but I see it often. So I know there's training going on, and it can't be just, my county here that's doing it.
I mean, they do
There's-
in my county, but they do like a week-long training and something specific to like, like I have to do CME and I have to do hundreds of credits in a year. But, for a lot of the things that I've seen, they're doing like a few hours of mandatory training here and there. Like it's inconsistent. And, it's often because of the understaffing that I've seen in departments, they postpone it or they pull it and things like that because they need the people working.
Yep.
Like this is another component that at least I've seen in the areas that I work over the last few years. Again, I think this is I'm not an expert. I'm just saying what I, know and like what I've seen around where I work. And I think that might be very,
It sounds like it's spasmodic from town and area to town and area kind of thing. I suppose once again, like you're saying, depends on the funding, depends on how many officers they got for availability. So ones that are off can go to training. But to answer Sarge's comment, Australian soldiers, I probably have to say that we got some freaking awesome, well-trained Australian soldiers. They do a lot of training in Australia, soldier-wise, army-wise, and stuff. They got to go on like 4 skirmishes a year where they go away and they go. Well, because my dad's in the army for like friggin' 28 years or something like that. So I was born and bred army brat, and he'd have to go away 4 times a year, and he'd be gone for like 9 days. But out of that 9 days, it'd be a week where they'll be playing war games.
So, what I mean about like regular training is, I think there's a big difference between taking a, jujitsu class or something like that. Whatever they call it, defensive tactics training or whatever, submissions, things like that, a couple times a year as like a seminar, versus doing it 3 times a week for an hour or 2 at a time.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying like we should be paying police officers to do that kind of stuff. Like as part of their job, 3 times a week, they should be, doing training like that consistently. That's more where I'm coming from.
I'm not a fan of the police in Australia at all. By any means, I do not like police because being a black fella and I'm over 50, so I've had a lot of, yucky experiences myself with race and crap like that. And you find the coppers, they can always go to the gym. They're always pretty fit. But yeah, like you're saying, they need to be doing more hands-on training in the obstacle course and that sort of stuff, not just the once a year or, a couple times a year or got to go to the range because I've got to shoot so many bullets a year at a friggin', a non-moving, paper target. Too many accidental shootings happen as well, like friendly fire, even in civilian kind of stuff. Like we had an Australian woman killed over in America over there by one of the American police force because he thought that she was the threat. She was actually the one that rung the police. And she'd even come out in a dressing gown, and one of the coppers even leaned over his partner and shot her dead. And wasn't that big hell raise over here in Australia?
As long as they have immunity, they're gonna do. I don't know. I mean, you can do all kinds of training, but as long as they have immunity, I mean, there's no. They can do what the fuck they want. If they don't want, they don't have to worry about
suspension.
the fucking back behind it.
Suspension with pay. So let's just give them a paid holiday. 2-week suspension with pay.
And that's it. Oh yeah, you shot somebody. Oh, here, let us investigate it. You take some time off.
And we'll still pay you.
Mm-hmm. And then come back to work.
Yeah.
And again.
But once again, that sort of stuff happens in, I think, the most high responsibility positions. People make bad choices because of the lack of training. I think, which goes back to my initial statement, people aren't getting enough training. Like we had a big ambush also out here, and I think it made the world news, big friggin' police ambush where these young coppers just got shot dead, and then they were like execution style, stood over the top and shot again kind of thing. But the coppers that they sent in for this particular job, they knew it was a high risk job. One of them had only been out of the academy 6 months. There was no friggin' like high friggin' strike supervising police officers. One of the coppers, and believe me, I don't like police officers because I just have, they give me the creeps because just my situations I've experienced. But one of the particular coppers that got shot, he was just the nicest fella in the world. Like, he was the kind of copper that you'd want to bump into and pull you over because he didn't do the big rooster chest and stuff like that. I had him here come to my house one time when I was just losing me chops about stuff. My dad died recently. I'm the executor of his will. Family members keep stealing stuff, all the rest of it. I'll ring the police up about, more stuff that family has stolen of my deceased fathers. The police do nothing about it because they class it as a civil matter. You've got to see a solicitor go and take it to what they call a QCAT court. And I'd just be losing me nut going, well, it's fucking stealing, mate. Like, is this when theft's not fucking theft? And I've had to call the police on a few different occasions for stuff that's got stolen. Even though I know the police aren't going to do nothing, I actually like to call them so then it's actually going to be recorded on a permanent record that situation happened. So when I do eventually get the bad family members to court, blah, blah, blah. But there's one particular copper that got shot at the ambush, Matt Arnold, just the nicest copper in the world. He was only a young copper. And I'd just be like foaming at the mouth like a rabid dog when him and his partner turned up. And he was like, can you calm down, Wendy? Like, I really can't understand you if you don't calm down. Whereas most of the other coppers that I've done that to, they'll lumber me up in an ambulance, go and take me away for a psychiatric evaluation 83 kilometres away. Just go, oh, well, you're not crazy. You're just under a lot of stress. Have a nice day. Let me out the hospital doors for me to make my own way back 83 kilometres. No vehicle, no public transport. We've got no buses, no taxis out here. It's just fucked, mate. It's just, the whole system's shit. I just hate people. Give me a freaking dog over a human. Sorry for you humans out there. It's just crap.
I'm going to hop off, but I'm going to leave one thought. I've met police officers that have good attitudes that,
Oh, me too. Me too.
Bad attitudes. I've met doctors that have good attitudes and ones that have bad attitudes. I don't know as a whole.
Same.
I know they do, and I'm sure that's the case in every profession. And I know they do psychological testing on the police before you get in. And there are definitely people I meet where I'm like, that person gets through, they're going to be that psychopathic police officer like Damon's referring to. I don't know how exactly you weed out and deal with that stuff. But I definitely think that
it's a hard one
between, being properly equipped, between equipment and training to do the jobs that you need to do, in the places that's what's required. That it's a more physical interaction, with individuals on a regular basis. But, as a whole, I don't think, and I'm not trying to reduce the reality that the way that communities approach police is a problem here.
Or justified or anything.
Is like more difficulty in getting police and staffing police because of the attitude that exists. And so I think that's creating a lower quality candidate that actually gets hired by police departments now too. So I think that's,
but it also creates more divide with the civilians and the people in authority.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I think that it's a multi-fold problem that's just been making itself worse. But yeah,
there's some videos on YouTube over in America there where the coppers actually like do these boogie woogie dances and stuff like that, have dance off. I thought, man, I wish our police did stuff like that. It'd build a better rapport just to go, oh my God, you are human and you do know how to have fun. Like, our police aren't allowed to like go to our country pubs and stuff like that because they're not encouraged to mingle with civilians in Australia. But yeah, I don't know if any of you have seen some of those. I can't tell you the police stations in America, but these coppers will be able to dance off with each other on these YouTube, and oh my God, it's just so heartwarming to see these coppers all having a good time and doing dance off with like college kids and stuff like that. I thought, man, that's how police should be. Like, build a rapport, build a communication with your citizens, but they don't do that in Australia.
Oh, we definitely have. I mean, there are good policemen. There are good cops here, but it's just that it
Oh, we got good
seems to
coppers here too, but you just don't see them as much.
right. It just seems to be less and less. And I do believe that I've said for quite a while that I think standards have been reduced across the board. I don't care what it is. The standards are reduced. So
Yeah, but not just for police, for a lot of people in a position of authority.
yeah, well, or
Even if
or
it's
not
even
for
you know,
pilots, for you name it, for everything you can imagine. Fucking plumbers. I don't care what it is, because COVID
Yeah.
came along. Everything, we had to, we had to stop with all the standards. And bye, Arby. Government isn't.
Is Officer Tommy Norman got funny stuff? Has Officer Tommy Norman got funny stuff on YouTube and whatever? I love watching cops having a good time and having a joke with the civilians, as we're called, kind of thing.
Yeah. Has anyone? I
I
haven't
remember I
seen.
got pulled up by this. I remember I got pulled up by this old copper in one of these country towns one time, and I was actually going into town because I had a watch in at the repairers getting fixed, and I got the text message on my phone saying your watch is ready to be picked up. Like, yep, beauty, because it was like an expensive watch that I had at the time, and just as I was pulling into the car park, like, the roadside car park, not a car park, just pulling off the road to park, this cop was pulled up behind me, and he wanted to do like do they have the tongue scrapey thing over there? The drug test where they scrape your tongue?
Yeah.
Well, he did me for one of those. And I've never even had one of them before. Anyway, so I was looking at this, I was talking to the cop. He was an older cop. He was like really relaxed. His body language is really good. This is like a happy police story, just so we know. Anyway, I'm like, wow, I've never seen one of them tongue scraping things before. He's like, oh, yeah, there's not too much to them. And I said to him, it looks like one of them, like a pregnancy testing stick, because, it was going to come up with the lines of positive and negative and stuff. And the old fella's going, oh, yeah, it kind of does anyway, doesn't it? I said to the copper, can I go across the road, man? I said, I'm just going to that shop right there to pick up my watch. He's like, no, you got to stay here, love, because you're technically detained at the moment. I'm like, yeah, no worries. He's gone back to his cop car. Obviously, he's got to feed this thing into the machine. And he's come back to me. He's gone, well, Wendy, he said, there's good news and bad news. And I'm just thinking, oh, my God, because I only just been indulging just before I left my house. Just had myself a couple of hotties, as we call them here. And I'm just thinking, oh, I'm done. This thing's just going to come up with like red flags, bells, whistles, positive. Mm-hmm. He's gone, well, Wendy, and I'm amazed he couldn't see me frigging heart, just beating out of my chest, waiting for me to get done. He's gone, well, he said, the good news is your drug test come back negative. He said, but the bad news is you're pregnant. And I just pissed myself laughing. True words, I just go, man, I said, if all coppers were like you, I said, we would love getting pulled up every day. He was just such a freaking funny old freaking copper. And he wasn't even one of our local coppers either. I just thought, shit, can you stay here? Can you stay in our town? Oh, yeah. So that's a good police officer story.
Yeah. Yeah, anymore it's getting harder and harder to come by those. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like I say, most of them kind of walk around with the rooster chest. I can understand they've got to be defensive, just in case something does happen. But then there's like situations where, if you're cruising down the street, you don't have to friggin' be like,
no. Yeah. Well, and right. You need to treat people decent. I mean, most people are, it's amazing how many they come across that they're just looking to be an asshole to them. And that's, I mean, people are like, well, they never record the ones where they're being nice. Well, have you ever thought that it's much easier to find them being assholes nowadays than it is to find them being good people? I think it is. I think it's harder to find them being decent And so this is why we end
Yeah.
up with so many dickhead cop videos.
Well, see, that seems to be another rule as well. So your police over there must have to have their vest camera on anytime they go to an incident. Where our police over here only seem to have it on if they choose to.
They still break it and don't do it, you know. Oh, it fell off
Yeah.
and it shut off and whatever. I mean, they come up with 50 different fucking excuses. So,
Oh, wasn't it turned on? I didn't realise that.
yeah.
Let's talk about something happy. Give us a happy subject, folks.
Well, somebody's shaking the jar. So we know that, and that's the biggest thing is, you know, who is doing that? It's got to be somebody. Somebody's got their hands. And like you said, it could be, I mean, who knows how far the Freemasons go? No, is that a record? I haven't been here for 6 hours.
It probably says that underneath. Yeah, it's only been 1 hour and 52 minutes, girls and boys. Yeah, because on the actual YouTube thing, it says 6 hours ago.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, no, I'm not doing a 6
That might have
hour.
been when you posted the notice. That might have been when you posted the notice that you were going live, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I did post it probably then, but like 1 or something my time. So, yeah. So, anyways,
It's not a koala bear, people. Sheepdog Tony, it's not a koala bear. It's just a koala.
what is he talking about? Aussie girl, send me a koala bear. I'm in Texas. Oh, it's a koala. There is no bear to it.
It's just a koala. No. It looks like a bear, but it's not. I think it's part of the marsupial range.
Yeah.
I want to ride a kangaroo to work. Whoa, till that kangaroo gets pissed off at you. He'll kick the crap out of you.
Yeah.
They're very angry things.
Yes, especially the
So
male.
are koalas. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so they've got like a big fat ass tail, like a proper kangaroo, not a little wallaby. And the kangaroos will actually balance on that back tail, and they'll friggin' hit you with those hind legs, which have got toenails on them, like, you know, that. And their toenails can just rip your guts open and intestines out. A kangaroo bear. Well, a kangaroo will bear hug you.
Yeah.
Kangaroo got front arms and then will boot the crap out of you. All fun and games until somebody gets hurt.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of like here they have oh, what the fuck is it Lester has, you guys? What is it?
An animal.
That bird. It's a bird. What is it? But it'll gut you. I mean, it'll debow your ass in like 2 seconds flat.
All right.
Was it
Emu, ostrich.
maybe is
We
it
used
an
to call them
ostrich?
emus over there, but it's a
Somebody tell me what Lester has. Ostrich. Thank
Ostrich.
you. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Yep. Yeah.
see him in some of the movies riding them.
Yeah, he's had to actually tackle his and literally get him down because he got a little frisky and he scared the shit out of him, I think. So yeah, I don't think he's gotten the cage with him since then. I think he's a little ostrich shy now.
Yeah. And they've also got big, massive toes on them, like toenails.
Yep.
And they're fast. They're predominantly known for their speed.
Art said, cops were assholes 40 years ago when I was a long-haired kid with a hot rod. I know. I was white. I felt loud. Well, I have to say.
Yeah, but it wasn't because you were white. It's because you were a long-haired kid with a hot rod.
Hippie. I grew up in a town of only 600 people, and we had all of our cops were town cops, and for the most part, I think back then, and there was some county cops. and then they all became county cops eventually. And we didn't really have any town cops at that point. But
So
when-
can you explain to me the difference? Because I don't know the difference between a
one is,
town cop and a county cop. Is that like a sheriff or something?
well, no, one is you would have cops that were hired by the actual city. And then that's what a town cop is. And then county cops are ones that are hired by the actual county that you live in. And so, and every town lives in a county, and there's so many towns in each county of each state. So that's kind of how that all works. Well,
Rightio.
so eventually they got rid of the town. They couldn't afford to have a town cop. So they ended up having county police, county sheriffs is actually what they all are now. So they're not even considered police. They're all sheriffs. So and then there's one big honcho sheriff that bosses them all around. So, but yeah, anyways, they really watched out for us kids. I mean, if you got a minor in possession, you were really fucking up pretty bad. To get a ticket for having beer on you or whatever, being drunk, you had to fuck up pretty bad, because they would pretty much, get you home safely and make sure you were okay. So,
and then humiliate you in front of the parents because they know the parents are going to kick your ass anyway.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah, definitely.
Okay, sheriffs are elected and police are appointed. Okay.
Well, only RB, you may think that, but in Idaho, there's only one that's elected, and the rest are hired. So there's a sheriff, he's the big dude, but all the other ones are Idaho County sheriffs as well. And he basically does his, what do they call it? I don't know what they call it.
So what are Texas Rangers? Like Walker, Texas Ranger, he always ran around like a copper. So Rangers, is that like still a thing?
Yeah, in Texas it is. And I think they're just like, I don't exactly know. They go all over I can only tell you by watching Texas Ranger exactly what the difference was between a cop and a Texas Ranger. So, which isn't meant.
What was his name that was in that show? What was the name of Walker? What was the name of Walker? What was the name of Walker, Texas Ranger, the fella?
Oh,
his name escapes me. He trained with Bruce Lee. Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Chuck Norris is still alive, yes. Yep. I just seen him and his son on some advertisement about, the shit you should be doing to yourself and the shit you're not doing to yourself. Hi, Mishka. You made it.
Woo, Mishka.
Carl. Yes, that's the ostrich's name. Carl.
Carl. Carl the ostrich.
The Rangers are like a special unit of the state police, basically. Right, Art. That makes perfect sense.
Like a special forces nearly kind of thing.
Wolf spider. Oh, hell no. I'm out.
Oh, we got them in Australia. We got like big hairy ass. Well, we got spiders bigger than your tarantulas.
I'd move. I would fucking move. There's no way in hell. I
had a big hunter in my house one time, and I stuck like a maybe a medium sized mixing bowl, like because he was on the wall, because they can like stick on the walls pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really jump at you predominantly, but they are fast movers, which is always scary. And I thought, rightio, I've got to stick a bowl on him and then, try and put the piece of paper underneath the bowl so I can do like a spider relocation program. And honestly, man, his all friggin' legs are still sticking out the edge of the bowl. I had to like try and get him to poke him in before I could flatten this bowl down properly on him.
hell, I'd have
Huntsman
broke
spiders, yeah.
I'd have broke every
We grow
fucking
everything
leg
big.
he had. You watch me, man. No way. There would have been. He would have been relocated right to the fucking garbage can. I'm telling you.
Yeah, to the rubbish bin. Yeah, to the cemetery, the spider cemetery.
Yeah. If you want to have a funeral for him, go ahead. But I'm telling you what, there is no fucking way. I just can't do it. The only spider I let go is a daddy long leg. That's the only kind.
Oh, we got heaps of them here too.
Yeah, that's the only kind I leave alone. Unless he's in my house, and then he has to go out. But otherwise, I don't.
Yeah.
Find they're going. They're gone.
Well, see, one of the worst things about summer, I guess everywhere really, because when it's like really screaming hot, you don't get that morning dew on the grass for the smaller animals and that to drink off. So, there's no dew in summer. So any outside water you have for your dogs and stuff like that, that's why we get snakes in our house yard, because they're just coming in for the outside dog water. A lot of people in the country will leave an animal like a wildlife water further away from the house. I mean, they're still going to come to the dog's water. I actually had a bearded dragon in my house. I've got a photo of it. I always take photos of the shit. I had a bearded dragon in my house there a while ago. He wasn't real big, but they got sharp claws on him. And, oh, man, I had a micro bat. I had a micro bat flying around in my house one night. Micro being small bat.
Yeah, I've had a bat flying around. Bye, Art. Yeah.
Night, Art. Oh, he might be back later. He's taking a call.
Any spider big enough to be a small meal is terrifying. No shit, man. Fucking out. And Fly Crew, he's like, yeah, a 12 gauge. That's what I'd relocate him with.
Relocate him through the wall.
Right on through to the other side. Fuck it.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, when people talk about the animals in Australia, I go, well, it doesn't want to kill you. It just can.
Yeah. And then it will. If you give it a chance, it will kill you. You thought you were
around where I live, we've got a lot of the deadly snakes in my area. Like for any Australians out there, I get death adders out here. Well, that's in the name straight up, death adder. And death adders are a really weird snake because they're not as long as squiggly, and they have a really quick, short, tapered tail because they can literally throw themselves at you to bite you. They're just like an Arnold Schwarzenegger body of snakes, but only a short body.
Nope, dead.
I'm in the country. I'm in the scrub. I'm right out in the country, Black Sheep.
Yeah, that would
I'm
be
right out.
Yeah, I'd get a lot of use
Tony
out of a
G.
shotgun.
Ah. Well, you don't use a shotgun. You generally, like out here, a lot of the farm people, they'll have a 410 for snakes.
Oh.
Same thing as a shotgun, except smaller ball bearings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like a baby shotgun kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. So, and you guys have a hard time getting, you guys don't, again, it's just the farmers and certain people that get to have guns, right?
Yeah. Well, anyone can get a gun if you don't have a criminal record, number one. Anyone can get a gun. So if you're down the city to get a gun license, you've got to join a shooters club. So there is still terms and conditions to get a weapon. Or you can also get a letter. A lot of people come out here where I live out in the country because they go like pig hunting and stuff like that. So you can get letters off property owners. If you're a city person, you can get a letter off and you don't want to join a gun club, you can get a letter off a property owner saying that you've actually got land where you have permission to come out and shoot and stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, then they're not just selling them over the counters. Not anymore.
Right. No, they had you guys give a bunch of them up, right? And then said, okay, here, you can have them back, but you're going to have to go buy them.
Yeah, once again, more conspiracy theory stuff, just the way that Australia disarmed us, as a lot of us, weapons-friendly people say.
Mm-hmm.
But all they did was disarm the honest people, eh? Like all the bad people still got to keep the guns, aren't they?
Yeah.
And did.
Yep. Hopefully Americans have realized that and learned from what you guys have been through to realize that don't do that. You need to hold on to your freedom.
And this is why I don't. Yeah. Like, just to go back on horrible statistics, like I don't understand how come your laws haven't gotten tighter like ours did. Because there's so many babies that lost lives at schools, for fuck's sake. Because there's some friggin' little shit-brained kids gone and gotten daddy's gun. Like, and even our even our way we store a gun is really strict as well. So it's if you don't have a criminal record, it is easy to get a gun in Australia, but you've got to meet the criteria. And one criteria is not have a criminal record. The other one is be in a gun club, something like that. But other than that, still any Tom, Dick and Harry can get one. Then you've got to go and do, like a 2-day gun course and stuff like that. But it's still easy to get a gun in Australia. It's just a little bit more dancing around you got to do. But they'll still give it to you. We're not allowed to have we're not allowed to have things like SLRs. So SLRs just being self-loading rifles.
Mm-hmm.
You're only allowed to have guns that can hold a magazine of only so many bullets. So you can't get a gun that takes, say, 24 bullets in a magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I'm a bit rusty on the numbers now.
That's what they're trying to
get.
I
think these can get
tell them that people can still kill people with the single shot. Saying you can't have a magazine bigger than this is fucking stupid.
Queensland's one of the only places left. So speaking of guns, I've got a gel gun here, that the AK-47 gel gun. Oh, can I reach it? Yep. So this is only a replica YouTube. You can see it's only plastic. It's got the plastic tip on it. So that's just like one of them gel guns. It is, and it's definitely plastic. Not a real. It's just a toy. And Queensland's one of the only states left in Australia that we're allowed to have those gel guns that you shoot those, like little gel balls.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure that'll be outlawed soon. Who's echoing? Maybe got something too close to a magnet. Is that better? Oh no, someone's come on. Maybe that's where the echo's coming from.
That's Hal.
Good evening.
Hal. Shallow Hal? I love that movie. You might have your microphone too close to a magnet or a speaker or something, Hal, because we've got echo since you've come on. Magnets repel, all that sort of stuff.
It's actually Julie.
No, it's not me, dude. You're the only one this happens with.
I can prove it to you.
You don't have to. It only started when you come on.
I can prove it. It wasn't doing it till you came on.
You can go back and watch any of the videos. It's always you.
I don't know how else to get it.
Nobody else is ever echoing. It's always you. It's doubling and tripling.
Echo.
You're wearing headphones. She's not.
I'm wearing hardwired headphones too, not Bluetooth.
It doesn't matter. You are the one that are echoing.
I do this for a living.
I don't give a fuck.
Then you should be able to have it sorted, Hal.
You can go back and watch any of the videos where I've ever been on, and it's always you. It's
It's
always
funny
coming
'cause
from
everybody
your
in
source.
Everybody in chat's like, that's
How come
funny,
it wasn't
now
echoing
how's
before
all-
you? Come on.
So
But
how
it's
come I
echoing
wasn't
th-
echoing before?
It's echoing through you. You're not wearing headphones. I've been telling you this forever.
No, I've been
you're
telling
trying
you
to re-
forever to shut off your YouTube. How you got onto the channel?
YouTube isn't on.
I don't know how to get it through. We go through this every time.
And I've been telling you forever too. Just give me a call and I can fix it for you. I can fix it over the phone.
Hey, dude, my audio was fine with everybody. Well, RB was on, and Wendy's been on the whole time. No,
You
echo.
guys are all using the same. You're using the StreamYard software. I'm not. You can go back and listen to any of the videos where I've been on.
Come on, you have to use StreamYard. I don't give a shit how good you think you are. You click on the StreamYard, and that's what puts you in here.
StreamYard.
You go open. If you close YouTube, then it won't echo.
I
And
don't
you'll
have
still
it. I don't have YouTube on. As soon as I clicked on this, I shut it down.
Well, I thought you said you weren't in StreamYard.
No, I said I'm not in YouTube. YouTube is off. I'm only. If I wasn't in StreamYard, how am I on?
Oh my God.
I thought you said
I
you
know
weren't in
you're on-
StreamYard.
I know you're on StreamYard, but you still have your YouTube open.
Nope.
That's why
This
it's
is the
wonderful.
only tab.
I don't know how to get it across. Here, watch. If I mute you, watch. We won't. Okay. Are we echoing now? Can you hear me, Wendy?
Echo. Yeah, I can hear. Echo stopped
am I-
because Hal turned his mic off. Hal muted.
Yes.
Hal's got the mute. Oh, surprise.
Not using any of their software.
Hey. Well, it's stopped now anyway. It's
Oh no.
no,
it
it
didn't.
hasn't. No. Hit mute again, Hal. Hit mute again, please.
I'm not touching that either.
1, 2, 3,
I
4.
muted him.
Say something, Gutter.
I
Oh,
muted
and
him.
look, surprise. And there's no echo.
Exactly.
Hey, I know. We just got to go through the motions to prove that girls are smarter than boys.
Okay, so now I'm gonna mute myself, and then you talk, Hal and Wendy.
1,
Can
2.
you hear me?
1, 2.
Can you hear me?
Still got the echo. Gigi did mute herself.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but yep, StreamYard is the only thing on, and I am not using their software. I'm streaming directly to it.
I don't understand what you mean when you're saying you're not
I don't
using
know.
their software, but you're directly.
I'm a
streaming,
recording
like,
studio.
not using a.
I'm a recording studio. I'm feeding directly into it. I bypass all of their software. I mean, and if you look at my box that I'm in, I'm running a virtual machine instead of a camera. I bypass all of their software.
Yeah,
I'm not
I don't
that
know.
technical.
It's weird.
Julie, can you move my screen over directly under yours? Is that
No.
possible?
Uh-uh.
Or does one more person have to be on to move it?
Yeah.
Yes, one person has to be on to get the 4 squares up, and yeah. She can change us
I
around
don't
in those
move this
positions,
screen.
but not actually slide us.
Right. If it is, it's obvious, Tony.
I'll put anybody to the challenge. Go back and watch any of the videos where I am on.
Dude, I just muted myself and you were still echoing.
And me, I'll still echo. Put him backstage for a second.
Okay. Where is it? I gotta figure out which one it is.
Back in the green room with you.
Trying to figure out where it is. How do I do that? Oh, here, maybe it's here. Remove. I see. Okay.
Okay, 1, 2.
So no
One.
echo. No echo. No echo. No
Oh,
echo.
hang on. No, hang on. Chat room, is there an echo? Yeah, the studio's made in China.
Something. Okay. Let's see.
Whereas if it was made in Japan, because they got better technology. Here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Echo.
Gooey. Like, oh, God. Hop down, dog. Ah, look, you're knocking the whole table, you freaking horse. Back.
It's so funny.
Oh, my God. Freaking horse. It's like a big dog. I want to hop on my lap and just literally, like, tilted the whole table.
Oh, gee. I wonder if I can. Let me
You
see.
can always check your settings and then go to audio and then check the echo cancellations on, off, all that sort of shit.
Okay, maybe that'll help. Let's see. Hey, is that better?
Hey, who? Shoot. Whoop. Did you put
Check
echo
1, 2.
cancellation on? 1, 2. Check.
That's better.
Check. Did you
So
go to
you
settings,
changed the
audio, and then
setting
echo
over
cancellation?
there, and it went away, huh?
Well, I clicked echo cancellation on yours. I went to edit mic settings and I put edit cancellation, echo cancellation, and reduce mic background noise. Now I want to see if it's like that on Wendy's because I don't think it is. I have never touched hers.
I've got my own echo cancellation already on. And I've
right.
also got
That's
adjust audio.
Already got it
Whoop,
all
1,
on
2.
there already. Yep. Automatic. Yep.
Yeah, I'm onto all that shit. I also
Cool.
automatically adjust mic volume and crap.
Hell yeah. Haha. Fuck yeah. Call me a turkey, bitches.
Woosa, woo. Spirit fingers. Hop away, dog. You're gonna knock me stuff, and then we'll be having a fight, man. I'm telling you. Hop away.
It wasn't me.
Away.
Tony.
That's
Oh,
it.
see,
Dragging
it's
out the
there
cranky
still.
voice now.
If you yell really loud, but oh, it's back. That's weird. It unclicked. Oh, he left. Why'd you leave, Hal? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see why you left, Hal, because see? Damn. I fucked with your echo process every time you fucking came on and echoed for hours. Alrighty. Well, it's okay because we're at 2.5 hours and I have to get off pretty soon. Well, at least smile a lot. So, yeah. As soon as Wendy comes back on, I'll say my goodbyes with her. And then I will get off here. I've got stuff to do, but we will be over on Discord if anybody wants to go over there. We can all go over and visit over there. So if you're here and you don't know about our Discord, if Tony could drop it in the chat, that would be awesome. Hi, AMC. How are you? All righty. Well, I've already done 2.5 hours, and I usually do about 2.5 to 3 hours. And tonight I said I would get off early so that I could finish up my other stuff that I have to do for my RV and get ready for my grandson tomorrow. So I am going to pack it in for the night.
Last drinks, everyone. Last drinks.
Yes, we can do another drink real quick. And
Oh, this is what they say at the pub. Last drinks.
that's right. Last call. In here, we call it last call.
Last call. Yeah, here in Australia's last drinks. When everyone runs to the bar and
Send me that, Shaz. Post it to me on Instagram, that screenshot. I really want to see what the deal was with the 6 hours. I wonder if it's talking about like a different one.
Is that one that you done?
Yeah, she's saying it went 6 hours, or it said it was going for 6 hours, but I think she's meaning this one. So.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's only because it says, yeah. Yeah, I know she's saying the 6 hour thing. It says 14 watching 6 hours ago, but
yeah,
we know it wasn't that long ago. I think the 6 hours ago might be in reference of when maybe Gutto originally posted the live notice, maybe.
I'll have to look and see. She'll send me the screenshot and then I'll be able to decipher what the hell it was. But so a lot of times everybody will go over to Discord. I know you're familiar with Discord and all that. So we have a Discord channel over there that everybody goes to. It's one of our buddies, Bobby, who isn't here tonight. I'm not sure where the little fucker is, but we'll deal with him later. So they'll go over there and hang out. They usually do a virtual pub chat where everybody goes on and visits. So you're more than welcome to go hang out there. And
yeah, I'm just going into it now on my second device.
Nice. I wish it had let me pin that. So yeah. Anyways, everybody always goes over there.
Invite the unstable kids.
Yes. The unstable kids. So it kind of stems from when we started this channel, Yank and I, we kind of became the parents, and then everybody, our OGs, were all our kids. We were older than most of them anyway, so it was kind of
you'll have to be auntie or something like that. I might be too old to be your child.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of how that whole this unstable kids, because we're all about half unstable anyway. So,
how come that went to that? Oh, now I'm confused. I'm still learning all this Discord crap.
I know, me too. Discord kind of confuses me. I have to look.
I accepted invite. Didn't come up on the tab. I don't know. I'll have to work it out.
Let me look.
I'll
I'll
hit
see.
the
Tony's
LinkedIn.
right there, so he'll be sure to get you in if there's something he has to do. I don't think there is, but let me look. Bobby, help a girl out.
All right then, Arnie. Gonna go and do all your stuff then. Go do your
Yep, I'm gonna
chores.
Go get my stuff done before I get back on into Discord. So, and before my husband gets home. So, because he works swing shift, so he gets home in a little bit. Did it come on?
Okay, accept invite. Yep, because we don't have Bobby Box over in Harley
Yep.
Dad's one.
Yep.
Strategic Eyes Show. Yep, Black Sheep.
Oh, I should.
Dark Crypto Kit. Seems like it.
Yep, that's
Fatty's
us.
typing.
You'll see mine. I'm under as GG. So because my other YouTube page is Gutter Girl, because that's where my whole nickname came from. So that's how this whole thing got started. So that's that you'll see it. It says GG, and I got a cherry beside my name.
Okay.
So
the tab's
and
there
then
now.
everybody else. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are here. Most of the people that are in here are from the channel, but there are some that aren't from the channel, but most are from the channel. And we only have, I think, 60.
Yeah.
61, something like that.
60?
So, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I don't even like that many people.
I know. Me either. As it started growing, I was
46
like, oh.
Yeah, 46 are
So, yeah.
offline, 15 are online. So 61.
Yeah.
That was a very good guesstimate.
Yeah, I kind of scrolled through here real quick and looked at the two numbers. So, anyways, yeah. But Tony or Bobby is missing. One of them will probably start up a virtual chat. So if you scroll to the bottom where it says voice channels, I don't know if our Harley Dad does that, but there's a virtual pub and a music room and a general. Those voice channels, if you scroll down to the bottom, those are where everybody will get together and just sit and visit about shit and say things that we can't necessarily say on YouTube and, that sort of shit.
Virtual pub, yeah?
Yeah.
No one's there yet.
So, yeah, nobody's there, but somebody will probably pop in there in a little bit. They usually do. Tony or somebody will usually, unless Tony's out getting his wang touched or something. He'll probably end up in there.
You mentioned hello, Wendy again. Hello, Fatty.
And we have really cool people in there. I mean, the ones that show up there, that's the coolest people that we have in the channel. They're the best. So you'll see. But
I think I'm a cool kid.
That's right. You'll fit right in with the cool kids. So I'm so glad you came
I used to
on,
ride
Wendy.
on the back seat when I was going to school. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, you're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you
Down the
muchly.
hatch.
No, it's been good.
Right on. Well,
that's it. Doors are shutting.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Remember, if it wasn't for you, I would not be here. You all make this happen. Thank you so much. All 13 of you that are left right now. And maybe you guys will go over there and hang. So anyways, thanks for another great visit. RB, thanks for coming on. Thanks, Wendy, for coming on. You're welcome back anytime. And it's a 5, 4, 3. Come on, Flatty. Where's 2? 2. Where's 1? I'm waiting for Flatty. Is she going to do a 1? Bye, everybody.